Therapy is based on skyhooks. A skyhook is an imaginary device for hanging an object from the sky. The word originated in a sarcastic remark by a pilot of a plane in the First World War who was asked to stay in the same place for an hour and observe what was happening on the ground below. He said that his machine was not fitted with skyhooks. The philosopher Daniel Dennett used skyhooks as a metaphor for the idea that life has an intelligent designer, and he argued that the ideas of imposed solutions from above, as opposed to allowing solutions and patterns to emerge from the ground, as natural selection does. Many great philosophers have argued in top-down solutions supporting intelligent design, and those opposing citing laws of nature were often treated with violence. Therapy might be described as being supported by skyhooks. For when we look up, we see Freud, Jung, Rogers, and a host of other godlike men who have sat on high pontificating about the human condition with little, if any, scientific rigour, suggesting their ideas are universal. It is a universality that applies to the human condition of the white, entitled, privileged, middle and upper middle classes, a dominant ideology, if you like, top-down, skyhook. It does not apply to the third world and displaced indigenous people, who all had their own way of seeing the world, understanding and treating ills in collective, traditional, and bottom-up ways. For the white Westerner, these ways were heretical and needed to be stamped out. The savages required reprogramming in the ways of the white man, who hang beliefs and ideas on hooks in the sky, whilst the indigenous people had their feet on the ground through thousands of years of practice, success and failure, and we threw them out in an instant. Therefore, we can say that our therapy is based on imperialistic global capitalist ideology that is intended as one of the ways of maintaining the status quo for consumerism, to keep it running smoothly. So be mindful of this when you next sit with a client. Your theory is airy-fairy. One of the emergent outcomes of COVID-19 is that people are connecting and acting in ways that they haven't before, irrespective of government confusion and inaction. We can all become activists in this new world, breaking up or at least questioning the institutions of greed that brought us to this place. Demand that those in the financial world do not make profit out of COVID-19. Offer to teach and share our knowledge outside the sacred therapeutic space. After this is over, society should be about participation at all levels, as well as listening more and talking less. Already, therapists are creating social media posts and websites, sharing their knowledge, allowing people to pick and choose. Hopefully this generosity will continue post-COVID-19. What I have noticed is a hunger for connection. Not simply checking in, having a chat, but wanting a deeper and warmer connection that perhaps wasn't on people's minds before COVID-19. Because of business, because of doing, because of time, because of being caught up in the unrelenting grind of consumer capitalism. This seems to be a hunger for intimacy, not the physical sexual connection that passes for intimacy. In a recent video session with two colleagues, after the usual COVID-19 check-in, that seems to be there at the beginning of every conversation, we eventually stopped and sat with each other in silence, experiencing a growing intimacy that someone said felt as if we were in the room together. The experience was healing and energizing. I believe this level of intimacy is essential if we as therapists are to mitigate against compassion burnout during the crisis, and for all of us to get through this bizarre, strange, and frightening time.